Hi guys, Jackknife'd here. I just remembered that I have a channel, and I can post stuff to it that isn't just Minecraft videos that about 5 of you will understand. So, since it's more or less the new year, it's the perfect time to look back at 2025, and there's some things that have sort of been forgotten about, but I still think are important to remember. We get a lot of media every day. Meme trends and news stories almost viewed in the same disposable way, where everyone talks about them for a few weeks and then they're gone. If you don't believe me, remember this guy? That was a year ago. But we're talking about more serious stuff ahead. To start off with, remember that weird time in the summer that Musk was best friends with Trump? Probably not a good sign when the richest man in the world is puppeteering one of the most influential governments, eh? It's an even worse sign when his contribution is a new department that lays off workers and guts foreign aid, all named after a fossilised meme. Nah, who am I kidding? It's named after the cryptocurrency. He breathes and its price goes haywire. Anyway, eventually Trump got sick of Musk when he criticised one of his bills, and Musk fired that by saying that Trump was in the files. I mean, I think we could already guess that. Anyway, Musk lost billions of dollars and left the White House. There is possibly one good thing that came of all this though. Doge ended up getting rid of a bunch of government subscriptions to Adobe Acrobat in the name of austerity. This eventually snowballed into the G-men not being able to properly redact the Epstein files, so I guess that's a win for government transparency. Next item, Nepal. You may vaguely recall that Nepal's young people had a revolution in the summer. The reason for this was that Nepal's government had a bit of a nepotism problem. The average Nepalese citizen doesn't make very much money, but their elite do. This all came to a head when the government tried to ban a bunch of social media, which was enough to spur the disillusioned people into an uprising. They coordinated all of this through Discord, interestingly enough, and this was more than just a peaceful protest. Though they did try to start it as one, the government opened fire on them in the street, and so there was no other choice but to totally dismantle the parliament. They burned down the presidential palace and other key government buildings, including many houses owned by government figures. Interestingly enough, they used the straw hat just like the Indonesian and Madagascar protesters, since it's basically the new symbol for revolution. Here's an image of a guy who took the gear of a fallen riot police officer. Pretty cool. Then they made plans on how to put things right. Once again using Discord, they managed to coordinate a vote for the new Prime Minister, in a Discord server that had hundreds of thousands of members. This interim Prime Minister was Sushila Karki, and the army even acknowledged the people's vote. They have an election coming this year. They managed to get rid of the corrupt system swiftly and efficiently, and replace it with something that will hopefully be better. That should be pretty inspiring. Okay, speaking of corrupt systems, here's something I think almost everyone forgot about. In Belgrade, Serbia, there were various protests after part of a train station collapsed. Protesters performed a vigil for the 16 dead, but as they did so, you may be wondering what caused them all to run. That's a directed energy weapon, which sounds like science fiction, but they've been working on prototypes for decades. It essentially releases a wave that causes extreme pain and dread, causing people to run away from its origin. You don't hear it, but you do feel it. Obviously the Serbian government denies the use of such a weapon against their people, even inviting FSB agents to come and investigate them for it. I think compared to everything else on the list, this is something that got absolutely memory hold, but I didn't forget. Okay, that's the video. List anything else in the comments below that you think got swept over in 2025, and subscribe if you're not already. I do plan to post more in 2026, and I've already got a second video planned. Here's a hint of what that'll be about.